Okay, so how do you simplify stuff with exponents when they're being divided instead of multiplied? Well, if I give you one that looks like a to the 7th over a to the 3rd, the simple way to think of that is this is 7 a's lined up, multiplied first, okay, and this is 3 of them. Okay, so 7 of them up top, 3 of them down below. Well, anytime you see a fraction like 4 over 4, for instance, if it's the same thing on the top and bottom, then essentially that means 1. So here's how this comes in handy. Right here, you've got an a divided by an a. That means 1. Okay? And here's another pair that's a divided by a. That also means 1. And here's a third pair. That's a divided by a. So that also means 1. So essentially, you've canceled off all these a's, and you have 4 of them left over. So your answer is a to the 4th. Okay. So what if it looks like this instead? What if you've got b to the 3rd over b to the 9th? Well, this one is 3 b's lined up. This one is 9 of them. And so we'll just do the same thing. We'll say, well, that pair cancels, that pair cancels, that pair cancels. Okay. You've got how many left over? Well, 6 of them on the bottom, so b to the 6th. You have to leave something up top, so we'll put a 1 there. Okay. And there's your answer. So the simple way to look at this is to simply cancel off things. So I'm going to look at this and say, well, here's 3 b's lined up. Here's 1 of them. That means I'm going to have 2 of them left over when I get done canceling. Okay. So that'll be 2. That'll go away. The 2 and 4 can be reduced to 1 and 2. So I can write 1b over 2. Now, I really don't need that 1 up there. So I'll get rid of it because 1 times b squared is simply b squared. So that makes your answer b. Okay. Well, when I get to this kind of thing, the negative's not going to cancel with anything, so I'm just going to put it out front here. The 2 is not going to cancel with anything, so I'll leave it down there. I've got 3 a's up top here, but 1 of them will cancel with this one, so I'll only have 2 a's left over on top. And the same thing is going to go on with the b's. I've got 1 here, 2 of them there, so when I get done canceling this one with 1 of them here, I'll have 1 b left over. Okay. So again, the answer is b. Okay. Well, things start to get a little more sketchy here and there. You can look at these things and say, well, no numbers are going to cancel out. You can't reduce negative 2/3, so we'll just make it negative 2/3 here. It's okay to just bring the negative out in front there. The x's, well, there's 2 of them here and 4 of them there. So if I cancel off every pair I can, I'm still going to have 2 of them left over here. Okay? And then here's 3 y's, but here's also 3 y's, so those will all cancel out. So it looks like your answer is C. Okay. How about stuff like this? Well, x to the 0. Well, hopefully you watched that other video that I made, and you know that x to the 0 is simply 1. Okay? So feel free to multiply 2 times 1. Last time I checked, that was 2. There's still an x down below here and a 2. And I've got some y's canceling going on here. I've got 3 of them here, or 4 of them here, and 1 there. So when I cancel off all the pairs I can, I'll still have 3 of them left on the top. And then, what about this 2 over 2? Well, 2 divided by 2 is 1. So here's your simplified answer. We basically just canceled out those 2 2's. So even if they start to get really ugly looking with all sorts of x's and y's there, you can start picking things apart carefully. You can say, look, I've got a total of 8 x's up top. Okay? and I've got 3 of them down below. So if I cancel these 3 with 3 of the x's that were up top, then no problem. I'll just have 5 of them left over. Okay. So I took care of the x's. Here's 7 y's total on top, and none of them are going to cancel out down below, so I better have y to the 7 up top. Okay. I've dealt with all the x's. I've dealt with all the y's. I still have a -3 there, so I'll just put 3 there and put a negative out front, and it looks like then the answer is C. So when you're doing these things, mostly just be careful, pay attention to what's going on here. Some people like to take advantage of the fact that there's a pattern. They look at this and say, you know, if I have t to the 3rd, let's make it t to the 7th over t to the 4th. When I cancel those things, I end up with just t to the 3rd because I canceled off 4 of these with 4 of those. And why didn't I just look over here and say, well, subtract the exponents? Okay, 7 minus 4 is 3. And that works great. If I end up with, say, a b to the 9th over b to the 5th, okay, well, when you cancel off 5 of the b's here with 5 of the b's there, you do get b to the 4th, which is what you get when you subtract the exponents. So I don't mind doing that at all. Where people kind of get mixed up at times, and they usually get over it as long as they're careful, is what if I have b to the 2 and b to the 7 here? Well, using that pattern, you'd get b to the -5, because 2 minus 7 is -5. Okay. Well, most of the time the directions say write your answer with positive exponents, so no sweat. Just remember after that first video that if you have something with a negative exponent in the numerator, just put it in the denominator with a positive exponent. Leave a 1 up top so you got something there, and then you're good to go. That's the same thing you would have gotten if you would have canceled off 2 of these with 2 of these and had 5 of them left over. All right.